Good morning, Rockin' Robin's Creative Corner, and we're here for the next part of our series on our memory box. I also want to say that it's the rest of this entire box. Anyone can join in because all these parts can go into journals as well. So it's not just for, to put in boxes. You can make these for journals. You can make these, mass make these for, to put away in your stash, to use for future uses for different things. Yes, so I want to say thank you to all my subscribers and to welcome anybody new who's watching, and please give me a thumbs up and hit that little subscribe and that bell so that you get notified every time I come on with the next part of this series and other videos that I do. So, without further ado, let's move on. So, good morning again. What we're going to need today is glue, a ruler, scissors, a bone folder, a scoreboard, and a cutter. Now, if you don't have any of these things, you don't need them. You can use utility knife and your ruler for a cutter. You can use a ruler, any kind of bone folder, or if you don't have a bone folder, get a, say, I'm looking for one, say a pen top, like this. A pen top, you can use that, with your paper, anything, So yeah, I got a bone folder, I got a scoreboard, and I have a cutter, and I have, this is 12 by 12, but you don't need to use 12 by 12. You do need a heavyweight, medium weight paper. So if you don't have 12 by 12, you can use 8.5 by 11. You can take book pages and double them up. You can take copy paper, double it up, glue it to each other. Yeah, so just make do with what you have. You don't have to have the supplies I have. If you don't have a cutter, just use a knife. Right now, this 12 by 12, and I'm just using white just for the purposes of these tutorials. I have not decorated yet, and I know I said last week that I was going to find papers and start decorating. Well, I still am not satisfied with anything I've found, so I haven't decorated anything yet. But I'm making everything, and I will eventually get where I know what I want to decorate with, and then I'll go at it. So for today, what we're going to make is this cute, now this is out of a different memory box, but this is a photo book, and it consists of 10 pages, so that means you can put pictures on both sides actually, so you can fit 20 pictures in here, or you can put say a picture on this side, writing space on this side. You can do whatever you want with this if you're a junk journaler and just want to put this in attach it to your journal page, you can attach it any way you want, this way, this way. You can have it flip down, and you can have it flip up, you know, and do writing pages. It doesn't have to be identical to this, okay? So, in order to make this, you know, when I make things, I just make them. So, I had to figure out what I've done here, recreate it, and we all know what that's like so far. But that's what we're gonna do. Excuse me. So, yeah, let's get making. So I've done some measurements, and I need, what did I figure out here? I need 8 pages that are 6.5 by 4, so they'll hold 6 by 4 pictures, and I believe that's the average size of pictures. You can make these pages smaller, bigger. You can do whatever sizes you want. I'm just doing the sizes that I have. Okay, so, and I also will put these measurements in the description for those of you that want to do it exactly the same way I did. Coffee. Okay, so I'm gonna need 8 pages, 6.5 by 4. That's for the inside pages. For the book itself, I need to make 2 pieces and put them together, because if you open this up this way and you measure, you see it is way over 12 inches. So 12 by 12 is not cutting it here. So what I did here was, if you see, I took, see the blue, that's 1 piece, and then the black is under it, and the blue attaches to the black, okay? So the blue piece is going to be 7.5 long, and the black piece is going to be, let me just make sure I got this. I believe we're gonna do 9.25. Let me see what I wrote down. Yes, that's what I wrote down. Okay, so, sorry, I have the itchies this morning. You ever wake up like that? Okay, I didn't put how wide though. So the width is the 4 inches. So what I'm gonna do, because everything is 4 inches wide, everything, the pages, the outside cover, everything. So this is 12 by 12. I'm gonna cut 3 pieces that are 4 inches. And I have 2 pages here. I'm gonna make sure it's even. There's one. Let's do another one. 4 inches. Let's make sure it's straight. Okay. So I should have, and I do, these are all the same. Perfect. So we'll start with that. Now mind you, I had 2 pieces of 12 by 12 put together. Okay, and this particular 12 by 12, we have a texture side on one side and smooth side on the other. Now, for the pages, we are going to cut those at 6.5 by 4. So that's going to seem like a waste, but it's really not going to be a waste because we're going to use the others. So 6.5, that would be 6.25. So I got to bring my little arm out, and let's see if this shows me. I think this is where, oh yeah, it does. Okay. Let me get my glue out of the way. And let's see, 7/4, 6.5. Right there, 6.5. Now, these pieces I'm going to use as like a photo mat, okay? So I'm not going to throw these away. These can be used for photo mat, for you know, writing space, when you're putting things on the inside of pages. See, like here, that's what I use them for. You know, you just trim down just a little bit to make the edge all the way around. So don't throw these away, in other words. So there's 6.5, there's 2. I need 8 of them for the inside pages. And you'll see why I need 6.5. So here's 2 more. 6 and a half. I'm putting these here and these here so I don't get them mixed up. 6.5. Make sure they're even. Let's see, 6.25. This is not easy to see on this, so I have to be a little careful. 6.5. Put these up here. So I have 6, so I need more. Right? I need 8. So let me get one more. Okay, 1 second. I should have had it out. I thought I had it all figured out, and of course I did not. Let me cut this little strip off. I don't know why they put the strip on here. Some companies do, some companies don't. But what I like about the Fiskars, this particular cutter, there's a wire in there. So you can line it up with the wire. Alright. So I need 4. Might as well just cut these 4. Like I did before. So I can get 3 of them. Even. And 4. Okay. Now I need, I'm going to put 2 at 6.5. Make sure they're even. And 1/4 and 1/2. There we go. Okay. So we have 8 pages. These are our pages. I'm going to set those aside. Now, we need to make the outside cover. And to do the outside cover, I need a piece that's 9.25 by 4. So, let's do this. 9.25. And remember, this is already 4 inches. Okay, so there's my 9.25, and the other one I need is 7.25. So let's see. Let me more piece out. And let me just cut that little edge. Ow. Don't stick your finger under the blade, you know, because that hurts. Wake up, Robin. It is very early in the morning. I got up, I don't know, about 3. I couldn't sleep knowing I had to get this done and uploaded and on today. And I normally do it on Friday nights, but for some reason the night got away from me. And I had so many other things I had to get done that were equally important. So I had to prioritize, and yeah. Okay, so this is 4 inches again, and this one is going to be 7 3/4. Okay, and I'm just going to set that up aside. So I have my 2 outside pieces and my pages, and these are my, and I'm going to put this away. Oh, yeah, just for a minute, because I'm going to get that back out in a minute. Now, these are my outside pieces, and what I need to do is get my scoreboard and, okay, I did not measure that part, did I? Yes, I did. On the 9 1/4 piece, I'm going to stick this on my scoreboard right here, like that. And this is going to attach to this. So, but I need to make, let me show you. We need to make this triangle. Okay? So, and there's a 1/4 inch what do you call that? It's a 1/4 inch, you know, for the wraparound. And it needs to be able to hold these pages. And you hear it's a magnetic close. So we need to score this 1/4 inch right here. So this, from this point to here, is 3 inches. So we're going to measure from here down 3 inches. We're going to make a score, and then we're going to score a 1/4 inch past that. So let me get my foam folder. Oh, there it is. Okay. And I'm going to go down 3 inches, and I'm going to score. No. Let me just measure. Measure 10 times before you go doing things. That's my motto. Okay, I'm going to open this up. Measuring from that tip to here. And yes, it is 3 inches. I just want to double check. So I'm going to score at 3 inches and at 3 1/4. Okay? That's easy peasy. Easy enough. Then, yeah, that's all I'm going to score there. Then what I'm going to do, I'm putting that scoreboard away for a minute. I am going to take my ruler. I'm turning this over to the side that I'm not going to be using. And I want to measure down 1 inch . I want to measure down 1 inch on both sides. Okay? So I'm going to measure down, and I'm just going to put a little mark at 1 inch. Just a little mark. I'm I'm going to put one on the other side at 1 inch. Just a little mark, just enough for you to see. Then what I want to do is mark the middle of this, okay, which would be 2 inches because the whole thing is 4. So I'm just going to put a little mark right there. Then I'm going to take my ruler, go from that middle to that mark there. No, see, I'm doing it wrong. Let's take that off and let's measure it the right way. 1 inch up from that first score mark. See this first score mark? I don't know if you can see it. This first score mark. I'm going to measure 1 inch up. Okay? So 1 inch. I'm going to make a mark. That makes a lot more sense. Okay. And I'm going to measure 1 inch. And this is just to make sure it's all even. Okay, so I have my, from this score line, 1 inch, 1 inch, and then the middle. I'm going to take my ruler and I am going to go from the middle mark to that 1 inch mark, and I'm going to draw a line. Oops, boy, wake up, Robin, you aren't even close. I don't know what I was looking at, but that wasn't the middle. There we go. I was seeing things in my dreams. And then I'm going to do the same thing this way, from that 1 inch mark to the middle. And that is how we are going to get our thing. Now, as I'm cutting this, you may want to use this as a template. You gotta cut it straight. Oh, this morning it looks like it's going to be challenging for me. Okay, so there's my closure. Here is this. Now at this point, you may want to cover this because, well, not yet. Not yet, okay. Because we haven't put the magnets on. We need magnets on here, you know, to hold it shut. So now I'm going to take my other piece that was 7 3/4. I'm going to overlap this by 1 inch. So I'm just going to set it on here. Make sure, see that, I want to make sure that if you're using texture paper, make sure your texture is on, both facing the same way. And what I want to do is, you can use double stick tape, glue, whatever you want. I choose to use glue, and I use my Aleene's tacky adhesive. It looks like it's getting kind of messy here. Let me see if I can get that off. Now this glue has yet to clog on me, so it's been very good. So what I'm going to do is put some glue, and I tipped it up, and it's getting towards the end of the bottle. I've gone through 2 of these already. I just love this glue. And I'm going to go and make this very even. 1 inch. And yeah. Get my paper towel. I have one here somewhere. I'm just going to rub that. Oops. Now the tacky glue will move because it gives you a minute longer than the art glitter glue, but you want to make sure this is straight. Okay, and I'm going to take my bone folder and rub that glue in really, really good. There we go. There. So I'm going to set this aside, let this dry, and get these pages ready. So I'm going to take my scoreboard, and these pages we are going to what I call stack. Okay, so I'm going to put the long edge up against the top. I'm going to score each one of these at a 1/2 inch. All 8 of them. The long edge at the top, score 1/2 inch down on the 4-inch side. And make sure your pages are in your scoreboard straight. And if you don't have a scoreboard, you just use your mat and your ruler, and you do a 1/2 inch and use your pen top. But because I have a scoreboard, that's what I'm going to use. And this one's a little scoreboard. I have a bigger one. So it doesn't matter what size scoreboard you have. This will work. Right? Oh, there. So we have all those scored. Now I want to take them, and I'm going to just fold them over, take my bone folder and squish them down, and I'm going to make sure they're even. This is very important. Don't get sloppy with this part. Take your time, because these have to lay on top of each other, and they have to be even. Otherwise it's going to look wonky and not very professional. And if you're giving this as a gift or making it to sell, yeah, you want this to look nice. You don't want it to look all crappy, for a better word. So if you see, when I fold it over, the edges are all even. And this is very important when you're stacking pages, because you'll see in just a minute what I am talking about. Okay, so these are all going to stack together like this. And I'm going to check, and I have a couple that are just a little longer than the rest, so I have to see what happened here. These two seem to be a little short. Let me just check the measurement on them. And they are. They're a little under the 4 inches. So what I'm going to do, because this is me, I'm going to take that piece that I have left over here, and I'm going to cut this at 4 inches. And these both should be 4 inches. Yep. And I'm going to cut it at 6 1/2, which was right about there. Put these aside. Get my scoreboard. Score 1/2 inch. And yeah, do I bleep out my mistakes? No. I'm human. You're human. So if you make a mistake, you don't get all upset. You don't get mad. It's just paper. It's paper. You can always reuse it for something else. All right. So now let me stack these. And they're all the right size. Okay? That was easy. Now I'm looking. These two I did here are a little longer. So that's easy to fix. I am going to get my knife. And I'm going to wait until I get these all glued together. Alright? Okay. Before I go cutting. So now what I want to do is take my glue and I'm going to run it right on here. And take a page and I'm going to stack it. I'm going to line it up, stand it up, and make sure that it is all even. Take my bone folder and rub that glue in. That's straight. I'm going to continue on, and I'm just going to, don't use like a ton of glue. You don't want to glue these pages together. You just want to stack them, but you want them even. So, my advice, stand it up, take your bone folder, rub it in. And if you're using the glitter art, this will hold immediately. That's why I like the A-leans. I have time to make it all even before it is glued. If you're using double-sided tape, you don't have a choice. You stick it, it's stuck. You are not going to have time to make sure that it was all even. You have to be on the money immediately. And down here in the South, this double stick tape doesn't last very long. I don't know if it's a humidity down here, or I don't know, but it comes loose. That's why I used to use it all the time. But when I started noticing things were coming apart, I stopped using it so much. Now up in the north where it gets cold and you don't have this humidity for months on end, maybe that works. Up there, I don't know. I don't live up there anymore. But you see how I keep it even? Stand it up, two sides, rub it in. Okay, we're almost done. Doesn't take long. Doesn't take long at all. Last page. There. Stand it up. To the side. Rub it in. Okay. Now if you see, I have a little bit of an edge and an edge. That means it's all not exact. So, in order to make this exact, because when I cut it, I don't know, that 6.5 is very hard to see. So I'm going to take my utility knife and a ruler, and I'm looking at the shortest page. And I'm holding the ruler tight, but I'm just going very gently with my knife. gently, but, you know, firmly, but I'm not like, you know, cut this off now type thing. Alright, let's get that out of the way. And I'm just evening the whole thing up. And this on the end is just a little more difficult because it's doubled over. So yeah, that's why you gotta hang on that ruler. Oh yeah, just going down, making sure it's all even. Let me just do it this way. Okay, now if you want, you could put it on a trimmer if your trimmer can handle it. I just happen to know mine won't, because if I put it on the guillotine maybe. But that's, I think, asking a little too much of that too, because you want this even. You want it to look nice. You want it to look professional. This is the way you do it. Okay. So now, this is all nice and even. Now this, again, I have a little bit sticking out here. I'm going to just take my knife and run it right down and even that up. Okay, so there we go. We have our pages. Clean this up. Now, before you put this all together, all right, you may want to cover your pages. You may not. I don't know. It's up to you. I'm making sure I'm on the plain side. And, okay, this is the plain side. This is going to go right here. So what I need to do is make a score mark. I'm leaving like 1/8 of an inch at the edge. And I'm going to take my pencil and I'm just going to make a little line. Can you see that? Yes. Let me show you. I just made a little line where the let's see. That's where the end of the pages were. I'm going to get my scoreboard. And on my scoreboard, on the middle line, this is 3 inch on the scoreboard. And I'm going to line that line up with the scoreboard. And I'm just gonna, now I'm just missing it, which is fine. I mean, I'm missing it by, just a hair. But this is all even up here because I have it all pushed up against the edge. So I want to score it right there where that line is, and I want to go towards the triangle, 1/4 of an inch. Okay, because when I put these down here, this needs to fold up and over this, and then this needs to fold up and over here. And there it is. Now how easy was that? Are we done? No, almost. We're getting there. We are quite close. So now where I put my line, just going to take my eraser, get rid of that. That's gone. Easy. Now where you see this right here, that you want to glue just shy. Let's see, which way do I want this? Yeah. Okay. This is going to go just shy of it's going in the middle. So you see the score marks. Huh, brain is not working yet. More coffee, please. And you want to go right centered, that right in between those marks. Now, I'm going to take this flap right here. I'm going to get some glue. And again, I'm going to line it up in between these two score marks. And I'm going to push that down. Going to very carefully lift that up. And make sure, yep. And get my bone folder. I just want to really push that in. I want to spread that glue. And there. There it is. Now what I should have done before I folded it up is burnish these, but I'll get it. I'll get it. There we go. I'm just going to use my fingers and burnish it that way. There we go. There we go. And there we have it. Now, depending on how you want to close it, you can put any kind of closure you want. But I'm going to use magnets. I'm going to get my magnets. And I use these, I get them from Amazon, 100 to a pack. They're very reasonable. If you want, let me know, and I will put a link to the ones I buy. They're 1 millimeter by something, I don't know. But you see what I'm seeing? I'm seeing a pencil mark. So I want to get rid of that. Now, you want to put these magnets on before you decorate your paper, because that's what's going to hide these magnets. So I'm going to figure, I want the magnet right about there. I'm going to stick it right in that glue and push it down with my finger. And I'm going to let that sit there a second. I'm going to get one more magnet. And I'm going to put this on here and let it fall where it may. I just let it go. Now, before I do that, I just want to get this glue that's around the outside of that magnet, because I don't want it squishing up onto the other magnet. I just want it to hold the bottom one. Now, there's a couple different ways you can do this. This is just how I do it. You can put double-sided tape under there. You can put a piece of paper in between. You can, I mean, people have all different ways of doing it. Now, the other day I did see something interesting. I saw somebody put a piece of paper, and it's kind of too late for me now, but put a piece of paper, then put the magnet, then put the glue. Okay, so remember, we have this 1/4 inch, so we want to bring the lid down and the base up. We want to make sure we keep these 1/4 inches on each side. And then I'm just going to hold that down for a minute. And it's holding, so I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to let it dry for a few minutes, and then I'm going to gently lift it up, and those magnets will stay where they're supposed to stay. So there you go. Here is our book. All it needs is to be decorated now. Not bad, right? So, like I said, this can be used in a journal. It can be used in the memory box. It can be used as a mini journal. It can be used for so many different things. It does not have to go just in a memory box. So make these up, get it posted, pound RRCC, post on the main feed, post in the event, doesn't matter. YouTubers, come join my group, Rockin' Robin's Creative Corner on Facebook. That's where people in my group are posting these. I thank you all for watching. Please give me a thumbs up and a comment. YouTube, please subscribe. Thumbs up, doesn't cost you a dime. Helps my channel grow. And I always like that. Someday, I'm gonna be big enough where I'll be like, ooh, look at that. But right now, I'm just growing. It's all new. So yeah, Rockin' Robin. Checking out, saying craft your day away. Bye-bye.